Hey guys, Rich Boy J here back again, and I have something pretty amazing to show you guys. Here I have every UCS Star Destroyer that LEGO has ever made. Now let's dive into this. I'm first going to talk about the Super Star Destroyer because it's actually my least favorite out of all of these. Now don't get me wrong, it's a pretty great model in itself, but I think it's pretty inexcusable how LEGO decided to make the bottom hull completely flat. When you compare it with the Star Destroyers of old, I mean, there's really no comparison, and I really feel they dropped the ball on that. For a model that's $400, I think that's unacceptable. But aside from that, somewhat minor gripe, it's a great model, and when you see it with the other two Star Destroyers, it really just completes it. Now I'm going to get this Star Destroyer out of the way, and we're going to talk a little bit about the regular Star Destroyers. There's actually a pretty cool story with these two sets. I know some of you are probably thinking, LEGO has only made two UCS Star Destroyers, being this model and the UCS Super Star Destroyer. But what happened with this one is that this set was manufactured in 2002. That's when it first came out, and its lifespan spanned between 2002 and I think 2007. But LEGO switched their color palette in 2004, which was during the time that this set was manufactured. Originally, they had this older gray, and then they switched over to this newer gray. The biggest difference between them is that the new gray has a bluish tint to it, and this change persisted over the light gray color that they had, as well as the dark gray. Now, because this set was manufactured over that period, the first run of the models were using the older gray color, and the newer runs of the models were using the new gray. And I decided that I wanted to get the newer gray version over the old gray version, just because it sticks out a lot less. I think having this set in old gray, it has its positives, but overall, it makes the set look aged. It's not as obvious when you look at it over the video, but in person, there's a pretty stark contrast between the colors of the two sets. So I just decided that having the set in new gray would definitely fit a lot better in my collection. I just want to get a few more shots of these two beauties together. I do plan on getting rid of the older gray one, but before I do that, I'm going to do a mock using both of these Star Destroyers. I know I mentioned it before, but if you guys have any guesses, I'd love to hear what you think that mock could be that will require me to use two UCS Star Destroyers. I think it should be pretty obvious. Having two of these things in person, they just take up so much room. One of them by itself takes up a ton of room, but the size of this set, it can really only be conveyed in person. This is one of the few LEGO sets that I was just in awe when I was building it. Once you start assembling these panels, it really seems like they never end. You just keep adding on giant plates, and then it makes up the entire hull, and it just looks amazing. Alright, now let's get all three back together again. Oh yeah, one other interesting thing I forgot to mention was that I read on Bricklink that some of the sets that come in the new gray also included varying quantities of parts in old gray, I guess because they had surpluses of them in their warehouse. So my set came with all new gray except for these little binocular pieces on the turrets. Those are all in old gray, and I honestly want to replace those because I think they stick out a lot. If it was an interior piece, I wouldn't really care. But having something that just sits right there on the outside of the ship and having 8 of them, I think it kind of sticks out. So I want to get those replaced. But it is kind of interesting that there were sets that had both the new gray and the old gray colors. And that's pretty much going to finish up this video, guys. I'd like to know in the comment section which version or which UCS Star Destroyer do you guys prefer the most. A lot of people will prefer the length of the Super Star Destroyer because it is longer than both of the other models. I personally prefer the girth of the normal Star Destroyer. I think it just has a bigger presence when you see it in person. And I also prefer it in the new gray color. But just let me know which one you guys would prefer to have. And also, as some further updates, this is what the Scarif mock looks like right now. My buddy took his half, I took my half. We're both going to expand it, and then we're going to bring them back together. And I think we have some pretty cool things prepared for you guys. And also, I noticed that I'm pretty close to having 2,000 subscribers. I definitely want to do a giveaway when I hit 2,000. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that button. I want to do a cool giveaway. Whenever I hit 2,000, it'll be something Lego Star Wars related, definitely. And no, it's not going to be a UCS Star Destroyer. So once again, guys, if you like what I do, subscribe for more content. You're going to be the first to know whenever it drops. And then drop a like on this video. Drop a comment. Let me know what you like. And that's going to finish this up, guys. Thanks for watching.